that there were people a lot better than them, a lot smarter than them, who weren't seeking power, but who weren't going to have our heads rubbed in the mud. Ladies and gentlemen, that which does not kill you only makes you stronger, and we are living in very, very epic times. I will say this about the big enemy attack. If you go to CNN.com, I did it this morning, half the stories, I mean, I was counting them. I think it was more than half, but it may have changed by now, but were about white people were ignored. This is why this happened. White lash. Poor whites did this. Poor whites did that. Whites, 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 whites. Minorities scared of whites. Extremism rising. Hate crimes by whites rising. They are literally telling Hispanics, blacks, and Asians, you can't have low taxes. You can't have prosperity. You can't have Second Amendment. You can't have a controlled border and security. They're literally engaged in divide and conquer, as we've seen before. But this shows us they're not capitulating to the people's will or to what the market wants or what would make CNN and MSNBC successful. No, they are going on with what they've done that has brought them to rack and ruin. So I say, good. Doesn't matter whether Donald Trump compromises or not. I don't think he will. You people are not compromising with the American people. And so we are what's driving all of this, and you're done. So I am very, very positive right now, because pretty much any avenue we go down, you are screwed. You have no credibility. You are totally delusional. And Americans of every race, color, and creed are sick of this crap, and they know what Donald Trump really stands for. Common sense. Russia's done nothing to us. We're not going to have a war with you. Islamicists are running wild in 30 countries, killing people en masse, invading us, saying, kill us. We're going to blow the hell out of you. It's the return of common sense, not rocket science. And all I'm saying to everybody who's been drinking the Kool-Aid of Hillary and all this crap and George Soros, Kennedy, one of the last true Democrats, cut taxes by 50% in the main tax brackets of middle class and poor people, and tax receipts double. Do you get that through your brain? Reagan increased spending too much with the Democrats. They basically tripled it. Didn't matter if tax receipts went up 70-something%. We went into debt. It was wrong. It was wrong. But it's better than the Democrats trying to destroy the damn country. And they were heavily involved in that. So just popping in is Roger Stone. I am so busy with sponsors I got to take care of and ads I got to deal with and actually running this place. I've been, for weeks, not even focused on that I'm going to go off in an hour. And Paul Watson's coming up. We're going to air a bunch of special reports. It'll be very, very powerful. I'm going to pop in later in the broadcast, but I've just got too much to do, and I've got to do it while I have my early day energy. So I'm going to be leaving. But big broadcast today. But I wanted to get Roger to pop in because I'm very, very positive. Obviously, Trump's going to have some guides into Washington. I'm very pleased with what Pence has done, delivering the goods on pro-life and so much more. I trust him. I don't trust neocons to carry out the president and the people's agenda. We see some of those folks coming in. If they fully get behind the agenda, side issue. But regardless, do not go along with Paul Ryan. Remove him. He's been caught in WikiLeaks with Hillary. Pelosi, Reid, their own party wants them out. Get rid of that old guard establishment that incestuously worked together to screw the people, and get folks in that want a prosperity-driven system. Trump isn't out to get us. So I haven't really talked to Stone. I don't know what's on his plate. I talked to him earlier, so we just pop in for 10 minutes. You've been in New York. He's obviously met with the president-elect, but he can't get into that inside baseball. This is a very exciting time, Roger, and I do want to celebrate now that I've had some sleep. Congratulations to you, baby. You're an MVP. Folks have no idea, like you're the Merlin of this whole deal, behind the scenes helping put King Arthur on the throne. But I got to tell you, the superhuman strength of Trump, not letting up, feeding off of combat, my God, this is total presidential stuff compared to the scum we've had in the last 20 years.
Well, Alex, first of all, it's great to be back with you. I spoke to President-elect Trump last night at some length on a broad variety of topics, and I'm not really at liberty to discuss that. But let me just say that he is, first of all, very grateful to the Infowars.com audience. He knows that you are the centerpiece of the resistance. He knows that he has gotten a better treatment here than from anyone in the mainstream media, and he is very grateful and very thankful for your support and the support of your audience. Secondarily, he is, I think, trying to get his head around some of the extraordinary national security.
Yeah, let's be clear. He's got a lot of stuff going on. In fact, I'm quite embarrassed that he's actually reached out to already say thank you. I mean, this is crazy what he's doing. And now I'm told he's working 18 hours a day still. I'm kind of actually worried about him at 70. Is this Superman?
No, look, and I told him this. At the end of the day, he is the one who won this. His enormously energetic sprint, the final 2 weeks of this campaign, was almost superhuman. This reminded me of Harry Truman, who jumped on a train and went from one coast to the other, doing 4 stops a day until he could no longer speak and pulling out an upset. Trump put forward a Herculean personal effort here. And at the end of the day, Alex, I think he won despite his campaign. By that, I mean his campaign, God bless them, they were a grassroots oriented, guerrilla oriented operation. We didn't have the slick, well financed operation of the Clintons. But in the end, it didn't matter because Trump's talent, Trump's ability as a communicator, Trump's enunciation of the anti-elitist message.
His instinct. I've been watching him carefully. He's got an instinct that is second to none.
Now, the other thing I can tell you is there are many, many people in the political establishment advising him not to allow the prosecution of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, presumably Chelsea Clinton for their crimes. I personally think that's an enormous mistake. Either we are a nation of laws, or we are a nation of men. Which is it? There has to be one standard. If David Petraeus can be prosecuted, then Hillary Clinton must be prosecuted.
Stone, let me jump in here, and I totally agree with you. My advice to Trump is this. A, it's what you said you'd do. B, it's the right thing to do justice. But C, and most importantly, you cannot leave this den of vipers there. They will try to bring you down. They will never stop. You must break these people, as you've already done, the MSM, the Clintons. The minute you go after them with the law and due process, their minions are all mercs. They will roll, and we will destroy the entire nest of corruption, and you would have won. If you don't do it, they're going to be sniping at you the whole time.
He cannot take his foot off their throat.
That's
Not
it.
now. He's beaten them against enormous odds.
When King David, I'm interrupting again. You're absolutely on target. When King David, with that stone, hit Goliath while he was praying, he prayed, God, make me aim true. Nobody can beat Goliath. He only knocked Goliath out. If he would have hesitated not taking Goliath's sword and chopped his head off, Goliath would have gotten up and strangled him. King David must raise the sword, correct?
Absolutely. I think this is why I say lock her up needs to continue to be our watchword.
And by the way, you challenged me. I took away the 2016. It's over. I'm announcing it. We're designing it today. You're absolutely correct. We are launching. It'll be here in 1 week. I just did it. We talked some more. We are launching, ladies and gentlemen, the Hillary for Prison 2017 limited edition shirt. It'll be available by this afternoon in pre-order at InfoWarsStore.com. Sorry, sir.
We are, I think, at a key point where former Mayor Rudy Giuliani yesterday on Fox summed this up. This is not a decision for the president. This is a decision for the grand jury. This is a decision for a career, unbiased, non-political prosecutor to look at the totality of the Clinton Foundation and the pardons and 100 other issues that the Clintons have enriched themselves by breaking the law and determine whether there is, in fact, a criminal indictment there. The other issue here, Alex, is, of course, the outstanding issue of the 680,000 emails on the Wiener Abedin server. So when the FBI director says we've reviewed them and there's nothing there, my sources in the Congress, who have seen all of them, my sources in the NYPD, who have seen all of them, tell me that there is open and shut evidence of treason, corruption, sexual exploitation, and worse.
And we have the earlier WikiLeaks where they're with Obama saying, we've got to cover this up, our illegal emails. We have them. We have them. We have them in gun sites ready.
So there can be no reprieve here. This is going to be very important, but I can already see the siren song of the political establishment calling on the president to give the Clintons a pass in order to heal the country and unite. This is nonsense. These are asps. They will bite
Well, here's
you.
the good news. The president can't give a 360 pardon from what I've read in jurisprudence. And so even if Obama gives him one, there's so many thousands of crimes, prosecutors afterwards, doesn't matter, new investigations, new crimes.
Well, I would argue that under the Nixon precedent, Obama could, in fact, pardon the Clintons for any and all crimes they may have committed. And if that happens, that's a legal process.
But the foundation's an ongoing crime. The foundation's an ongoing crime.
She still will have accepted a pardon, which is essentially the admission of a crime. The Clinton Foundation is going to dry up. Who in God's name would give them a penny to stick in their pockets now? Who?
I agree. I mean, thank you, Roger, for coming on. Any other points that are key to add? Listen, nobody's perfect. This is so complex. I can't believe he's working 18 hours a day. I'm so impressed. The media is going to try to, here's the new attack. They're going to now attack us on our strength, liberty, and the fact that we don't falter or waver. They're going to claim he isn't 100% delivering. We have to wait and see and give him time to even get in. We have to worry about assassination, which the media is pushing. So don't let them start claiming, oh, he's bringing in neocons, or oh, he's doing or that. Donald's shown he does what he wants. The point is, it's delivering, building the wall, cutting the taxes, standing back and letting prosecution take place. That's what we're waiting for once he's president. In the next 70 days, total defense of Trump, absolute promotion of what he pushes for, and keep fighting. Keep fighting and exposing MSM. Wasn't it genius to ignore the press corps and not tell them where he was going or what he was doing?
Yeah, I think CNN is going to have a very hard time getting him on the phone. I think the New York Times is going to have a very hard time getting him on the phone. I think he's wise to ignore them. But Alex, let me also say, any of the names you see floated out there for various positions, whether it's Chris Christie or Rudy Giuliani or Jamie Dimon for Treasury,
It's all bull. It's all bull.
There's the
To hear
worst
Trump
idea I've
say
ever
it.
heard my entire life. It's all not, that's not true. It is self-promotion in most cases. Uh, you should not read anything into that. No decisions are made, no lists are made. It's wildly premature. So when the Washington Post reports a piece by Robert Costa saying that Corey Lewandowski is under consideration for chief of staff, no, he is not. That's a plant. That is not true. There is zero chance that that will happen.
That's right. Lewandowski is now a CNN turncoat operative.
Well, this is the same guy who planted a fake story at the Washington Post that he was in charge of the vice presidential selection process, which he was not. So you see a lot of self-promotion. You see the Washington rats all trying to board the ship. The watchword today is, I was with you the whole time. Anybody who says that was not with you the whole time.
Well, my listeners were with the fact that Trump was a patriot and the elite were against him. And I was a little fly on the wall in the meeting where what really brought down Lewandowski came out. And I knew Lewandowski was going down, so I know the inside baseball. And it's not some pissing contest with Lewandowski. He's really a bad person, and I want to salute the individual that helped bring him down. And just thank God there's patriots around Trump protecting him. And listen, nobody's smart enough or has enough eyeballs or brain cells to keep track of something this complex. The fact is the enemy hates Trump. That's why you know he's good, and we're going to give him massive benefit of the doubt until he gets into office. But remember, folks, the #1 threat from my gut, and you see him in the news, is them trying to kill Trump. Don't you agree, Roger? That's the maximum threat right now?
Look, I pray for his security. I've written a book on the Kennedy assassination. I wrote a book on the Bushes, which has what I think is the true story of the attempted Reagan assassination. The inappropriate actions of the Secret Service in both of those instances give me pause. Now, I think the men and women of the Secret Service are brave, loyal Americans, but I worry about the political manipulators above them. So, yes, I pray every day for the president's security. The assassination threats, are ubiquitous across the social media. I myself, and I know this is probably true of you, I've gotten more death threats in the last 48 hours than I've gotten in the last 48 years. And I'm about 48 years old. So,
well, let's talk about this then. I know you got to go, and I got to go. I'm skipping the break. Roger Stone, StoneZone.com, StoneColdTruth.com. Let me ask you this question. A little bird told me that Trump, a year ago, envisioned he was going to win, understood the people, knew the mainstream media was a joke, because he advertises around the country. He learns it has no response anymore. There's nothing there. You advertise in independent media, there's a huge response. You advertise in mainstream, no response. I mean, Trump's a smart guy. He's like, wow, they have no power. For 6, 7 years, I advertise, nothing happens. I mean, that's one thing for Trump to just, as a businessman, to get. They're done. This is our country. This is foreign run. This whole Soros thing, the globalists, the big banks, they admit it. It's come out in the WikiLeaks. And a little bird told me if they think they're going to try to start a war or finance too many riots in the streets or try to burn Washington or something, that we're just going to encamp the U.S. Army and the Marines around the White House, and somebody's going to sit in a bunker and sign the executive orders. And if Congress wants to roll over to the globalists, that's fine, but we finally got a president that's going to try to defeat the enemies that have captured this nation. I mean, we have the beachhead now is what I'm saying. He has captured the White House. Now he's got to capture D.C. and bring the country back. That's how epic this is.
I generally agree. I think that their moves will be more subtle than that, Alex. I think there's going to be a major effort to continue to crack down on the lending ability of community banks in a purposeful effort to slow the economy so that can be blamed on Trump. They want to crash the economy and blame it on Trump.
Oh, I agree. So what does Trump do? He gets up in 70 days and points out with his bully pulpit what they're doing to crash it before he gets in?
Yes, he tells his Treasury Secretary to get with the community banks and make sure, since they are creditworthy, since they are loaded with cash, that they are lending to people who want to build.
And let's be clear, under Obama, in the last 8 years, almost nothing to locals, trillions to foreign banks, trillions to China, nothing for us. Trump needs to say, you give the damn loans to local people, including black communities, right now, and the Hispanic communities and the poor communities now. You give them the loans, they pay them back, you do it right now.
Well, and I happen to know that the president-elect is looking at some innovative financing options where you could rebuild our infrastructure without using tax dollars. I mean, this can be done where you can essentially get a guaranteed line of credit to rebuild America without squandering.
Sure, all that matters is tax cuts and confidence. This country can't be held down. The Federal Reserve used to admit we're overheating. We've got to suppress it. And that's the big secret. Trump knows that. Just turn a few switches, block the globalists. We're going to win, right, Rogers?
I think that's exactly right. Look, I think he's going to move towards a sound dollar. I think he's going to move to growth-oriented tax policy.
Is that why the stock market went up?
I noticed that. I noticed that. Very, very, because look, we have a businessman in charge. He understands the economy and he knows how to create jobs. I've never been more confident.
What'd you make a Wall Street chanting, lock her up, my friend?
Yes, well, we'll get there. I think it's vitally important that he keep his pledge to the American people on those questions. All right, Alex, I'm going back over to Trump Tower, but great to be with you again, and I will keep you posted.
There goes Roger Stone, ladies and gentlemen. Very exciting times to be alive. I tell you, stonecoldtruth.com, AlexJonesInfowars.com. I've done 53 minutes of this broadcast, and have not once even sat here and said support us. And that's why I've had to go off air here, because I've got ads for advertisers to cut that are a month behind. I've got bills to pay, contracts to sign, satellite deals. I mean, I got a lot of crap going on, a lot of good stuff. But I mean, it's just by the time I see on there, it's like 3 or 4, I'm like a zombie and can't make these business decisions. It's weird. I can still do radio and TV forever, but when it's to business, I've got to really figure out how to fund this thing. So I want to just encourage everybody, if you want to see the main attack ship in this fight turn into 3 or 4 ships and really run the tables on these people, we've got amazing products everybody needs at InfoWarsStore.com. We got free shipping throughout at least today or tomorrow. We're selling out of so much stuff. I didn't order enough stuff thinking the sale wouldn't be that big. So it's going to have to end one way or the other. But take advantage of it. Free shipping store-wide. 30% off Super Male Vitality. 30% off X2, the good halogen. 30% off DNA Force. Wow, that's a big deal. 30% off Living Defense. 30% off Lung Cleanse. 40% off all the high-quality storable foods. That's a big deal. We just extended that out. Our great supplier, My Patriot Supply, has decided to do that because they're so excited as well. InfoWarsStore.com is the main site. Sub-sites to go to the nutraceuticals or supplements to get your probiotics, or your vitamin mineral fusion fruit punch, your bio-PCA for the hair and nails, or knockout sold out. Well, they told me it was sold out. It's still up there. The BioTrue Selenium, Liver Cleanse, Oxy Powder, Prostagard, Anthroplex. It's just the dry version of the Super Male Vitality. It's all there. InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. And that runs right through the weekend. So again, to all the viewers out there, if you want to be part of the next level of the take back of America and the world for free market, true open societies, notice Soros names his group the Open Society because he's the opposite. This is the real renaissance. This is the real freedom. We've broken the back of the enemy. We have taken action to the next level. History is unfolding now. And it is not corporate sponsorship that funded this. It was you, the listeners and viewers, that took action. So I want to encourage you. Go to InfoWarsStore.com right now and take advantage of store-wide free shipping, at least for the next 24 hours. And while supplies last, 30 to 40% off products across the board, like non-GMO heirloom seeds, water filtration systems, super cutting-edge supplements, storable foods, and so much more. On apparel, it's 50 to 15% off, depending on which piece of apparel it is. Because I do the Made in America thing, and we make almost nothing on that because it costs so much to do because of how unfair things are. So we can't go more than 15% on Made in America because we're only making like 30% on it. Made in Mexico, made in Venezuela, made in wherever, places like Honduras. Yeah, we can give you 50% off on that because the shirt costs us $5. Made in America, like $12, $13. Some of the more designer stuff, $25. But it's all there, InfoWarsStore.com, or call toll-free, 888-253-3139. I'll be doing special broadcast tomorrow. I'll be obviously back to Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. We've got a bunch of compilations of the best of the last week coming up in the next hour. Clips of my famous interview with Donald Trump, because he kept all his promises. I will not disappoint you, boy, didn't he? He did absolutely deliver. And then Paul Watson, the absolute Arthurian warrior from Albion, will be joining us. And then we are also going to have a big excerpts, big analyses of the secret of why Trump, one, hasn't aired yet, shot it last night, the threat against his life, what's happening there, and so much more. That's going to air in the 4th hour with David Knight, hosting about 20, 30 minutes of it. It'll be breaking news and analysis, but a lot of it is going to be tapes I shot last night while I was on fire. It's all up on Infowars.com. Will they kill Trump before the inauguration? I said that last night. There was just a flotilla of articles today saying, kill him now. So this is the crazy town level to which we've reached. But we haven't gotten to the riots all over the country. The story linked on DrudgeReport.com is an Infowars story. High school girl viciously attacked for supporting Donald Trump by black folks. This is just attacks all over the country. You go to CNN, though, it's white people are attacking black people. And that means some operative of the government burned a 1-foot cross in somebody's yard, totally made up. All the church burnings are out to be fake. the black stripper being raped by the lacrosse team, fake. It's all finance. It's all fake. I mean, if it was real, I'd report it. Let's say this. It's as rare as finding an Easter bunny at Christmas, okay? Because most white people are in a catatonic state totally guilty. Back when the Klan was running around doing bad stuff, it was like 2% of the population in the South. Just face it, folks. When you're walking down an alley at night in a minority neighborhood, you see a white guy, are you afraid you're going to get attacked? It's because statistically it's not happening. And it's happening everywhere. They admit it. It's like 100 and something times more likely if you're white to be attacked by a black person. And it's a minority of blacks doing it, but still, crime's rare. But in that group, the media sells it like it's okay. Just like in the 50s, most racial attacks were the KKK against blacks because it was culturally acceptable. We have to make it unacceptable. Stay with us, Infowars.com. Spread the word. They hate that site. You've been spreading it. It's been destroying them. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live. Available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action. That there were people a lot better than them, a lot smarter than them, who weren't seeking power, but who weren't going to have our heads rubbed in the mud. Ladies and gentlemen, that which does not kill you only makes you stronger, and we are living in very, very epic times. I will say this about the big enemy attack. If you go to CNN.com, I did it this morning, half the stories, I was counting them, I think it was more than half, but it may have changed by now, but were about white people were ignored. This is why this happened. White lash. Poor whites did this. Poor whites did that. Whites. Minorities scared of whites. Extremism rising. Hate crimes by whites rising. They are literally telling Hispanics, blacks, and Asians, you can't have low taxes. You can't have prosperity. You can't have Second Amendment. You can't have a controlled border and security. They're literally engaged in divide and conquer, as we've seen before. But this shows us they're not capitulating to the people's will or to what the market wants or what would make CNN and MSNBC successful. No, they are going on with what they've done that has brought them to rack and ruin. So I say, good. Doesn't matter whether Donald Trump compromises or not. I don't think he will. You people are not compromising with the American people. And so we are what's driving all of this, and you're done. So I am very, very positive right now because pretty much any avenue we go down, you are screwed. You have no credibility. You are totally delusional. And Americans of every race, color, and creed are sick of this crap, and they know what Donald Trump really stands for. Common sense. Russia's done nothing to us. We're not going to have a war with you. Islamicists are running wild in 30 countries, killing people in mass, invading us, saying, kill us. We're going to blow the hell out of you. It's the return of common sense, not rocket science. And all I'm saying to everybody who's been drinking the Kool-Aid of Hillary and all this crap and George Soros, Kennedy, one of the last true Democrats, cut taxes by 50% in the main tax brackets of middle class and poor people, and tax receipts double. Do you get that through your brain? Reagan increased spending too much for the Democrats. They basically tripled it. Didn't matter if tax receipts went up 70-something%. We went into debt. It was wrong. It was wrong. But it's better than the Democrats trying to destroy the damn country. And they were heavily involved in that. So just popping in is Roger Stone. I am so busy with sponsors I got to take care of and ads I got to deal with and actually running this place. I've been, for weeks, not even focused on that I'm going to go off in an hour. And Paul Watson's coming up. We're going to air a bunch of special reports. It'll be very, very powerful. I'm going to pop in later in the broadcast, but I've just got too much to do, and I've got to do it while I have my early day energy. So I'm going to be leaving. But big broadcast today. But I wanted to get Roger to pop in because I'm very, very positive. Obviously, Trump's going to have some guides into Washington. I'm very pleased with what Pence has done, delivering the goods on pro-life and so much more. I trust him. I don't trust neocons to carry out the president and the people's agenda. We see some of those folks coming in. If they fully get behind the agenda, side issue. But regardless, do not go along with Paul Ryan. Remove him. He's been caught in WikiLeaks with Hillary. Pelosi, Reid, their own party wants them out. Get rid of that old guard establishment that incestuously